Did you know that the first Germans arrived in 1608 in America? Because you can't say the United States, because actually the United States was not founded until much later in 1776, or some say 1778, but nevertheless it certainly wasn't around in 1608 when the Germans first arrived in the USA. But there is a deeper story that has to do with Germans being in the United States and them being the largest ethnicity to immigrate to the United States, with also the largest ancestry in the United States. In the USA, there's a German American Day that's been around for over 135 years. And it marks a day that is a holiday for some regions on October 6th. And it commemorates 1683, when 13 German families arrived in Philadelphia to set up home. Today, 50 million, at least 50 million Germans live in the United States. And that's according to the Census Population Bureau in the USA. They're the largest self-reported ancestry group in the United States, and the German population, which is probably pretty surprising to most people, beats out Irish, African, English, Mexican, and Italian Americans, and make up at least between 17 to 19% of the American population. And the families that came over back in 1683, those 13 German families, they came from a area in Germany called Krefeld, spelled Krefeld. This information that I'm sharing with you, by the way, comes from a international publication called The Local.de. The Local, LOCAL.de. That time frame back in 1683 that I just mentioned is celebrated because, according to history, that was when they started a movement, the small little families, that marked the beginning of America's German settlement. See, that was the year in which a group of religious dissidents approached Francis Daniel Pastorius in Frankfurt am Main, and he was a trained lawyer and agent for the German society. And what ended up happening, long story short, is that they negotiated with Mr. Pastorius to buy 5,700 acres of land from a man named William Penn, who was the Englishman that founded Pennsylvania. And on that land, that 5,700 acres of land in Pennsylvania, they established Germantown. And they called it Germantown. Now, just as a caveat here, I wanted to say that I'm aware of Germany not actually existing back then and being called Germany or Deutschland or Germania. Back then, they were, in the 1600s, they were a part of the Holy Roman Empire, which is, of course, Italy. We're talking about the region that became Germany, that became Deutschland, and that's what Germans call their homeland. They call it Deutschland. In English, it's Germany. But it used to be anciently called Germania. And these people did call themselves German as well, because they were from Germanic tribes and they spoke the language that we also know today is as German, even though the dialect has changed quite a bit over the years. Here on the screen is a really cool map from farandwide.com, and they have the colored chart on the right hand side here with 16 different ancestry populations, if you will, because the bottom one that you probably can't read so well, and sorry about that, you know, the actual web page is not high quality, but the bottom one, the white square down at the bottom, is other. Above that is Puerto Rico, or should I say Puerto Rican, Norwegian, Mexican above that, Italian, Irish, Hispanic and Spanish above that, German, that's the baby blue color there, French, which is a sky blue color, on up to Finnish, English, Dutch, American Indian, American there in the bone white. Orange we have Aleut, spelled A-L-E-U-T / Eskimo, and above that we have African American. And I want you to take note here that this actual map comes from the year 2000. Now look at the largest ancestry in the United States with the colors. And if you look here, right here, with this baby blue color that the chart on the right describes belongs to Germans, you'll see that Germans since 1608, or if you like 1683, when the 13 families came from Krefeld, Germany, you'll see that Germans are very explicitly the dominant ancestry race in the USA, all the way from the east to the Midwest, all the way over to the West Coast. Absolutely amazing. Look at this. All through here, this baby blue is the German ancestry population that is in America as of 2000, and you can best believe it looks just like this, or there might even be more Germans in America than this now in the different regions. So I just thought that was very, very interesting, because many people don't understand how much history Germans have in the United States. I'm Otis Q. Pate here on Frankfurt Alumni Video with a little report that I like doing about Germany. Things that you might not know. Take care.